In the American West, where legends were born and outlaws roamed, few names conjure up the same mystique and intrigue as those of Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo. Their lives, intertwined with gunsmoke and whispered tales, have become the stuff of Western lore. Yet, amidst the dust of history, one question lingers like a ghost on the winds of Tombstone. Did Doc Holliday, the consummate gambler and notorious gunslinger, truly gun down Johnny Ringo, the enigmatic desperado of the frontier? Delve into the shadows of the past as we embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind this timeless Western mystery. Fateful day. John Ringo made a pivotal decision to relocate to Tombstone after residing in San Simon and Gallyville. His arrival in town led him to an encounter with editor Sam Purdy of the Epitaph, whose later recollection of their conversation revealed Ringo's ominous premonition about his fate. Ringo expressed a fatalistic certainty about his imminent demise, juxtaposed with a reckless indulgence in the 4th of July revelries, characterized by heavy drinking and carousing with companions. As Ringo departed Tombstone several days later, his journey was marked by the inclusion of extra bottles of liquor for the road. 2 days subsequent to his departure, he was sighted at Dials Ranch in the South Pass of the Dragoons, still immersed in a state of inebriation. Described as a solitary, wandering feast, Ringo's encounter with Deputy Billy Breckenridge portrayed him as visibly intoxicated, exhibiting a stubborn determination to proceed towards Gallyville despite the scorching summer heat. Breckenridge's account of their interaction suggested concern for Ringo's well-being as he attempted to dissuade him from continuing his journey in such a compromised state. However, Ringo's intoxicated obstinacy prevailed, leading him towards what would potentially be his final destination. This encounter with Breckenridge is speculated to be the last confirmed sighting of Ringo alive. On the afternoon of July 13th, Ringo's horse fled from him near Rustler Park, prompting him to pursue it, albeit unsuccessfully. A gunshot resonated from a nearby ranch around 3 p.m., signaling a tragic turn of events. John Peters Ringo's lifeless body was discovered late in the afternoon of the 14th by a teamster hauling wood. His remains were found seated amidst a cluster of 5 large black jack oaks, arranged in a semicircle, with a sizable flat rock serving as a makeshift seat at the center. The coroner's report. He appeared attired in a light hat, a blue shirt, a vest, pants, and drawers, his attire indicating recent travel. His footwear comprised hose socks and a torn undershirt fashioned to protect his feet, suggesting he had not journeyed far in this makeshift gear. Clutching his revolver in his right hand, his rifle leaned against the nearby tree, indicative of a vigilant stance. Notably, his cartridge belts were secured in a peculiar manner, with the revolver cartridge belt fastened upside down. Upon closer inspection, a variety of items were discovered both on his person and in his possession. These included a Colt's revolver of caliber .45, numbered 222, containing 5 cartridges, alongside a Winchester rifle with an octagon barrel, model 1876, numbered 21986, equipped with a cartridge in the breech and 10 more in the magazine. Additionally, 2 cartridge belts were found, one containing 9 rifle cartridges and the other housing 2 revolver cartridges. Among his personal effects were a silver watch from the American Watch Company, bearing the serial number 9339, accompanied by a silver chain. Monetary assets totaling $2.60 were also present, alongside 6 pistol cartridges tucked into his pocket. Furthermore, 5 shirt studs, a small pocket knife, a tobacco pipe, a comb, a block of matches, and a portion of tobacco were among the items discovered. Notably, a fragment of a letter addressed to the deceased, John Ringo, from Messrs. Hereford and Zabriskie, attorneys at law based in Tucson, was also recovered. This assortment of possessions provides a glimpse into the personal effects and belongings of the individual, shedding light on his circumstances and potential activities preceding his demise. Interesting outlaw. Born in Indiana in 1850, John Peters Ringo's early years saw him traverse the American frontier, leaving an indelible mark on the Old West. His family's journey took them from Missouri to California, a path marred by tragedy, when Ringo's father met his demise in a fateful accident with his own shotgun while traversing Wyoming. His father's untimely death cast a shadow over their westward migration, serving as a poignant prelude to Ringo's own turbulent existence. Settling briefly in San Jose, California, Ringo bid farewell to his mother, brother, and sisters in 1870, setting his sights on the vast expanse of Texas. It was here, amidst the backdrop of the Hoodoo War, a bloody conflict fueled by ethnic tensions in the Mason region, that Ringo began to carve out his notorious reputation. Accused of one killing and allegedly implicated in numerous others, Ringo departed Texas in the late 1870s, shrouded in infamy as a dangerous and notorious figure. Ringo's arrival in Arizona in 1879 marked a new chapter in his tumultuous saga, as he sought to reinvent himself on the rugged frontier. Describing himself as a speculator in the 1882 Cochise County Great Register, Ringo's notoriety soon found him embroiled in violent altercations. His involvement in a shooting over a disagreement on liquor choice resulted in his residency in San Simon, though he frequently ventured to Galeyville, where his penchant for trouble earned him his third formal charge. Despite his reputation as a formidable adversary, Ringo's absence from the infamous Fremont Street confrontation with the Earps and Doc Holliday left a notable gap in his legacy. However, he attempted to rectify this omission with a failed showdown on Allen Street 2 months later, underscoring his relentless pursuit of notoriety. At the time of his death, Ringo had become one of the most recognizable figures in the territory, lauded by the press as the leader of the notorious Cowboys. Yet, amidst the whispers of his demise, conflicting narratives emerged regarding the circumstances surrounding his passing. While some questioned the plausibility of Ringo taking his own life, others attested to his frequent threats of suicide, further shrouding his enigmatic persona in mystery and intrigue. The Mysteries of Ringo. In his comprehensive exploration of the life and death of the infamous Johnny Ringo, author and researcher Steve Gatto delves into the intricacies of the purported enigmas shrouding the demise of the self-proclaimed King of the Cowboys. Gatto scrutinizes these mysteries in detail, offering insights and conclusions that challenge conventional narratives. One such mystery revolves around Ringo's improvised footwear, fashioned from torn pieces of his undershirt. It's speculated that Ringo, separated from his bay horse, embarked on foot to locate the missing animal. As discomfort from his boots intensified, he resorted to fashioning makeshift moccasins from his undershirt. Stranded and overwhelmed by thirst, Ringo purportedly succumbed to despair, ultimately choosing to end his own life. However, Gatto's analysis of the facts presents a compelling counter-argument. Contrary to popular speculation, the coroner's report indicates that Ringo had traveled only a short distance in his improvised footgear. Additionally, his proximity to a water source, within a mere 200 to 700 feet from Smith's house, raises questions about the narrative of a desperate, thirst-driven demise. Furthermore, eyewitness accounts from the inhabitants of Smith's house, who reported hearing a single gunshot around 3 o'clock on Thursday evening, offer critical context to the events leading to Ringo's death. This lone gunshot challenges alternative theories, such as Wyatt Earp's account of a gun battle, culminating in Ringo's demise. Earp's depiction of a prolonged exchange of gunfire, followed by his purportedly lucky shot from a distance of 75 yards, seems improbable in light of the trajectory of Ringo's fatal wound. The upward trajectory, angled at 45 degrees between the right eye and ear, casts doubt on the plausibility of Earp's version of events, prompting a revaluation of the circumstances surrounding Ringo's untimely end. Another mystery surrounding Ringo's demise centers on the peculiar positioning of 2 cartridge belts discovered on his body, notably with the revolver cartridge belt buckled upside down. Conspiracy theorists speculate that Ringo's assailants deliberately inverted the belt to shame or send a message to him. However, a closer examination of the facts reveals alternative possibilities. Ringo's prolonged state of inebriation suggests the potential for him to have mistakenly fastened the belt incorrectly. Moreover, it remains plausible that Ringo himself may have purposefully manipulated the belt arrangement. Such ambiguity underscores the complexity of unraveling the true circumstances surrounding Ringo's final moments. The discovery of missing portions of Ringo's forehead and scalp, accompanied by the coroner's observation of hair that appeared to have been cut with a knife, constitutes another enigma. While some interpret this as evidence of foul play, it's essential to consider alternative explanations. For instance, the possibility exists that John Yost, the individual who first stumbled upon Ringo's body, might have taken the hair as a macabre souvenir. Such actions, though unsettling, do not inherently suggest murder. This revelation underscores the challenges of distinguishing between intentional harm and incidental actions in the absence of definitive evidence. The absence of powder burns on Ringo's temple, a detail highlighted as Mystery No. 4, has stirred further speculation about the circumstances of his demise. Some contend that the lack of powder burns indicates that Ringo was shot from a distance, casting doubt on the narrative of a close-range altercation. However, a critical analysis reveals that the coroner's jury did not provide conclusive commentary on the presence or absence of powder burns. Moreover, the rapid decomposition of Ringo's body, exacerbated by exposure to the scorching sun, raises questions about the reliability of forensic evidence. In the haste to bury the remains, the finer details of the autopsy may have been overlooked, contributing to the enduring ambiguity surrounding Ringo's death. Legend of the Wild West. The transformation of a self-professed speculator and heavy drinker, with a relatively modest tally of confrontations or gunfights, into one of the most renowned figures in the Old West, gunfighters, remains a compelling enigma. However, a trail of embellished narratives provides intriguing insights into the evolution of John Ringo's legendary status. The embellishments surrounding Ringo's exploits offer a glimpse into the exaggerations that contributed to his enduring legacy. For instance, a newspaper account from July 22, 1882, attributes 32 deaths to those who dared to question Ringo's honor, painting him as a formidable and unmatched figure in the realm of gunfighters. Accounts from contemporaries such as Billy Breckinridge and Walter Noble Burns depict Ringo as a complex and enigmatic figure, oscillating between moments of introspection and bursts of volatile behavior. Ringo's perceived dichotomy, alternating between the demeanor of a gentleman and the volatility of a quarrelsome drunk, adds layers to his persona. Moreover, Ringo's reputation as a skilled marksman and fearless adversary further solidified his standing among the rustling element of the West. However, Jack Burrows offers a sobering perspective on Ringo's legacy, suggesting that his enduring fame may owe more to the romanticized allure of his name, rather than the factual accuracy of his exploits. Burrows' assertion invites scrutiny of the embellishments and inaccuracies perpetuated by countless writers over the years, highlighting the complex interplay between historical fact and literary myth-making in shaping Ringo's enduring image. In essence, Ringo's journey from obscurity to infamy exemplifies the intricate interplay between historical reality and mythological embellishment. While the true extent of Ringo's exploits may remain shrouded in ambiguity, the enduring allure of his legend continues to captivate the imaginations of Western enthusiasts and historians alike. Aftermath. The discovery of Ringo's missing horse, 11 days after his death, added another layer of intrigue to the already enigmatic circumstances surrounding his demise. The horse was found approximately 2 miles from the site where Ringo's life ended, still saddled, with Ringo's coat draped over it. Within one of the side pockets of the saddle were 3 photographs and a card bearing the name of Mrs. Jackson, identified as Ringo's sister. In the 1920s, Wyatt Earp began weaving a narrative to select writers, including Forestine Hooker, Frank Lockwood, and Frederick Bechtold, alleging his involvement in Ringo's death. Earp purportedly detailed a scenario wherein he and his vendetta posse intercepted and killed Ringo while departing Arizona in March 1882. However, a glaring discrepancy emerged with this claim. Ringo met his demise in July, nearly 4 months after Earp had fled the state as a fugitive. Despite this inconsistency, some enthusiasts of Earp continue to speculate that both he and Doc Holliday clandestinely returned from Colorado, where they were known to have been in July 1882, to eliminate the cowboy leader. However, this theory strains credulity, particularly considering that Holliday was documented to have been in court in Pueblo, Colorado, just 2 days prior to Ringo's death. Buckskin Frank Leslie, while incarcerated in Yuma prison for the murder of his wife, allegedly confessed to a guard that he was responsible for Ringo's death. However, few lend credence to Leslie's claim. Another figure linked to Ringo's demise is Johnny Behind the Deuce, also known as Michael O'Rourke, who purportedly ambushed Ringo near his camp in the Chiricahuas. According to Fred Dodge, a Tombstone resident of the time who shared his account with author Stuart Lake, O'Rourke's motive stemmed from fear. However, this version finds little support among historians and scholars of the Old West. Did Doc Holliday kill Johnny Ringo? The prevailing consensus among historians and scholars of the Old West is that neither Doc Holliday nor Wyatt Earp was responsible for the death of John Ringo. This assertion is supported by a plethora of evidence presented by various sources. In May 1882, Colorado Governor Frederick W. Pitkin declined Arizona's request for Doc Holliday's extradition, leading to his release on a writ of habeas corpus. However, before completing the process, Holliday faced a new legal challenge. A warrant for larceny was issued in Pueblo. Deputy Sheriff Linton, along with Bat Masterson and Bob Paul, escorted Holliday to Pueblo on May 31st, where he was charged with swindling $400 from an individual. Holliday waived examination, posted a $300 bond, and awaited trial until the July court term. During his stay in Pueblo, Holliday made several public appearances and interactions, including an interview with the local paper on June 18, 1882. He later reunited with Wyatt and Warren Earp, continuing their association through the end of June. Reports indicate that on July 8th, Holliday arrived in Salida, Colorado, accompanied by fellow gamblers Sam Osgood and Texas George Robinson. However, their stay was brief, as Holliday had to attend to his legal matters back in Pueblo. On June 11th, the grand jury indicted Holliday for larceny, granting him bail set at $500. This process seemed prearranged, as the district attorney and Holliday, accompanied by his counsel W. G. Hollins, appeared before the court. Holliday pleaded not guilty, posted bail, and was subsequently released. On July 18th, the case was adjourned, coinciding with reports of Holliday's visit to Leadville. Importantly, these events unfolded before Ringo's death on July 13th, solidifying the notion that neither Holliday nor Earp could have been involved in his demise. Chuck Hornung, in his work, Wyatt Earp's Cowboy Campaign, The Bloody Restoration of Law and Order Along the Mexican Border, 1882, acknowledges the compelling arguments presented by Steve Gatto and myself regarding Doc Holliday's presence in Pueblo, substantiated by court records. Hornung proposes an intriguing theory, suggesting that Holliday's documented appearance and the language of official documents may have served as a guise in a covert operation devised by the Earp brothers in Gunnison. A notable piece of evidence from the Gunnison News-Democrat dated July 15, 1882, further undermines the narrative implicating Wyatt Earp in the death of John Ringo. The article reports that Wyatt and Warren Earp were planning to depart for San Francisco within a day or two. Remarkably, This article appears to have evaded widespread publication since its initial appearance in the Gunnison paper. Nevertheless, it aligns seamlessly with the movements of the Earp brothers during that period. Although the exact date of their departure from Gunnison remains unconfirmed, historical accounts affirm that once they left, their destination was San Francisco, where Wyatt would reunite with his wife Josephine. Their subsequent return to Colorado in early 1883 underscores the implausibility of either Wyatt or Doc Holliday embarking on a risky mission. It's evident that Holliday's movements were meticulously monitored, and Wyatt remained in Gunnison until the conclusion of the extradition proceedings involving Doc. Allow me to provide some clarifications regarding the movements of Doc Holliday and his associates following their separation from Wyatt Earp in Albuquerque. Following their split, Doc and Dan Tipton made their way to Colorado, with the rest of the posse trailing shortly behind. Their destination was Trinidad, where Bat Masterson had recently assumed the role of city marshal. Doc welcomed the opportunity for some much-needed rest upon their arrival. Meanwhile, the other members of the Vendetta posse discreetly congregated at El Morro, located just south of Trinidad. Wyatt, seemingly at ease in the area, enjoyed the company of Bat Masterson for a brief period. Subsequently, on May 5th, Wyatt, Warren, and Tipton departed for Gunnison, initially intending to stop in Pueblo for a scheduled boxing match in South Pueblo. However, the match failed to materialize due to disagreements over the choice of referee. After spending a day or two in Pueblo bidding farewell to Bat Masterson, the Earps continued their journey to Gunnison. According to reports from the Pueblo papers, the remaining associates of the Earps headed south at this juncture. Doc Holliday opted to prolong his stay in Trinidad, evidently feeling secure and protected. On May 8th, back in Tombstone, the legal proceedings regarding Doc's altercation with Milt Joyce were concluded by Judge Stilwell. 2 days later, Doc proceeded to Pueblo, enticed by the prospect of gambling opportunities in South Pueblo. On March 14th, Doc departed Pueblo in the company of his gambling acquaintances, Texas George Robinson and Sam Osgood, bound for Denver to attend the horse races. Coincidentally, Bat Masterson also traveled on the same train. Upon reaching the fairgrounds in Denver, Doc, along with his friends and Bat Masterson, spent the day engaging with various individuals, including David J. Cook, the head of the Rocky Mountain Detective Agency, and Denver Police Chief James Lomeri. Later that evening, while en route to a meeting with John Vimont, a Colorado mining figure from his days in Tombstone, Doc was unexpectedly accosted and arrested by Perry Mallon. Following the governor's refusal to extradite him, Doc Holliday returned to Pueblo, accompanied by Deputy Sheriff Linton, Bat Masterson, and Bob Paul. On May 31st, Doc made a court appearance to address larceny charges, subsequently securing release on bond. Meanwhile, on June 4th, Wyatt Earp made his inaugural public statement regarding the situation in Arizona. Doc swiftly rejoined the Earps in Gunnison, where he underwent further interviews and spent the remainder of June in the company of his former associates. Around July 1st, Doc, along with his gambling companions Robinson and Osgood, surfaced in Salida, situated along the railroad route between Gunnison and Pueblo, in preparation for his scheduled court appearance on July 11th. They lingered in Salida for a few days before advancing to Pueblo for the impending legal proceedings. Judd Riley, a law enforcement official in Gunnison, later attested that the Earp party exhibited commendable behavior during their stay in Gunnison that summer, save for a couple of instances where Doc's indulgence in alcohol led to minor disturbances. However, Riley noted that Doc's companions promptly intervened to mitigate any potential issues. Interestingly, Riley also divulged that Wyatt Earp was known to carry 2 pistols positioned high under his shoulders, a detail of intrigue for enthusiasts of Old West firearms. The detour through Salida elucidates Doc's presence in the area and serves to corroborate his documented movements during this period. January 17, 1882. The long-anticipated showdown between the Cowboys and the Earp Gang nearly materializes on Allen Street, just outside the Occidental Saloon, as Doc Holliday and John Ringo find themselves poised for confrontation. On Fremont Street, the Earps and their supporters stand positioned on the north side, while the Cowboys assemble on the south. Tensions escalate, with the imminent threat of violence looming in the air. However, before the clash erupts into a full-blown altercation, police officer Jim Flynn intervenes, seizing Ringo from behind and swiftly apprehending both him and Doc. Subsequently, Ringo and Doc are brought before the city court, where they are levied fines of $30 each for the offense of carrying concealed weapons. Meanwhile, amidst the commotion, Wyatt Earp, observing from the crowd, also finds himself ensnared in the legal fray, facing arrest on a weapons charge. Nevertheless, this charge against Earp is ultimately dismissed, owing to his status as a deputy U.S. Marshal. This incident underscores the volatile climate that pervaded the streets of Tombstone during that era, characterized by simmering tensions between rival factions and frequent brushes with law enforcement. It serves as a poignant reminder of the precarious balance between order and chaos that defined life in the Wild West. Who did it? Doubts linger regarding the circumstances surrounding Johnny Ringo's demise, with many expressing skepticism about the notion of suicide. The peculiar detail of the upside-down gun belt raises eyebrows and fuels speculation, compounded by the absence of any mention of a holster. Moreover, a citizen's report on Ringo's death mentions the presence of a hat atop his head when his body was discovered, a detail that seems incongruous with the act of suicide. For some, Ringo's death remains an enigma, neither definitively categorized as suicide nor conclusively attributed to foul play. The scarcity of reliable information hampers efforts to unravel the mystery definitively. Jeff Morey, in pondering Ringo's fate, underscores the unresolved nature of the case, highlighting the need for additional evidence to shed light on the matter. Despite the prevailing theory of suicide, alternative scenarios persist. Some suggest the possibility of Ringo falling victim to another's hand, though such assertions lack substantial evidence. Notably, suspicions regarding Wyatt Earp's involvement are dismissed due to his absence in Colorado at the time of Ringo's death, further debunking claims propelled by exaggerated folklore. An intriguing account preserved in an old pulp Western magazine from the 1930s offers a first-hand narrative, purportedly witnessing Nashville Frank Leslie's role in Ringo's demise. This artifact, discovered by a descendant decades later, adds a layer of intrigue to the ongoing debate surrounding Ringo's fate. Authored by Ed Earl Repp, a prolific writer of television shows, the article provides a tantalizing glimpse into the enduring fascination with Old West legends. Meanwhile, insights gleaned from historical records, such as Doc Holliday's appearance in propria persona before the Pueblo court, debunk unfounded theories casting doubt on his whereabouts during crucial periods. This definitive proof refutes claims that Holliday was absent from the scene, reaffirming his presence and dismissing baseless conjecture propagated by enthusiasts and skeptics alike. As we wrap up our exploration into the intriguing question, did Doc Holliday kill Johnny Ringo? One thing remains abundantly clear. The enigmatic figures and murky circumstances of the Old West continue to captivate our imagination. While we may never uncover the definitive truth behind Johnny Ringo's demise, the journey of discovery has been both thrilling and thought-provoking. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into history's greatest mysteries as we continue to unravel the legends and lore of the past. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking the truth. Subscribe now, and let's embark on the next adventure together.